Welcome back. Well, the air conditioning is on. I'm afraid we're just stuck living with this because, again, summer, Pennsylvania, what can you do? Audie is directly below the camera, and he has been screaming for the last 20 minutes, so it's entirely possible that we're going to get some jiggling out of this because he does not feel anyone is paying attention to him. They all love you. Today, I thought we would talk about some of the sort of unanticipated pitfalls of starting a YouTube channel. And people have been asking me about this recently. Plus, some of you have started your own YouTube channels, which I think is fantastic. But I think this is probably a good time to talk about this. So, we'll see you in a minute. Well, the biggest reservation that I have noticed in the comments and questions when it comes to starting your own YouTube channel, and this is sort of right across the board, is people have said, I don't like the idea that people could comment and say mean things. Of course you don't. My goodness, who wants people to say mean things about them? I don't want people to say mean things about me. But ultimately, I have a very thick skin. And I know that when people make comments, yep, that was Audie. Yeah, okay, baby. I know that when people make comments, they are making comments about what they see on YouTube. Are you catching the little ears here? It's not about me personally. They don't know me, even if they think they do. And we are going to circle back around to this in a minute. Keep in mind, if you start a YouTube channel, your own YouTube channel, you can turn off comments if you want to. You can remove comments. And if you have some particularly dreadful commenters, you can block them. And lately, I've told you, I've been getting spammed in my comments. It's the only way I can describe it. I'm sure there must be some 21st century word for this, but it's comments directing my viewers to things like hotteenagers.com. No! What are they, crazy? Whoa! I mean, it was bad enough when it was hotbabes.com, but now we're looking at hot and possibly underage. Good Lord. YouTube screens out anything that looks like a link for that reason. And then I have to go into a file on my YouTube channel and start pulling out things that are not, hotunderagegirls.com, and allowing them to be posted. And by the way, if you make a comment and that comment doesn't show up, make another comment right away. Something along the lines of, I can't see my comment, period, and let it go at that, because it might be that YouTube thought your comment was sketchy. It might be that they thought there was a bad word in there. Remember our little half-naked FAKIR, little, Indian dervish guy? And that is a legitimate word. But if you will recall what YouTube did with that, it's not human beings. It's computer programs that are interpreting speech or writing, and, well, they're not always getting it right. Let's just put it that way. But as a YouTube content creator, You can control that. You can go in and create a list of naughty words. I have a list of, well, I have a list of naughty words. George Carlin had a list of naughty words. Tell me you don't remember that. So there you go. I didn't even have to think about a naughty word list. I was like, yeah, George Carlin's naughty words. There you go. You use one of his naughty words. You're just going in that folder, and then I have to go in and figure out if you really use the naughty word, if autocorrect did something to your text or whatever. And then I can put your comment back in. Or if I decide it is inappropriate and that you really did use a naughty word, it's just going to get dumped into a little bin and completely forgotten about. Now, we've had an overview discussion before of the kinds of things that I get rid of. Now, obviously, anything advertising inappropriate websites, of course, that's going to go. If it's hate speech, that's going to go. If it's racial or ethnic slurs, it's going to go, etc., etc. This is a family-friendly channel. It is not child-oriented. This is not directed at kids, but it's kids safe. I don't want anybody to be afraid to let their kids sit in their lap or sit next to them and look at the phone while they're watching the YouTube videos. So I'm pretty picky about that sort of thing. Sometimes videos will produce some super crazy comments. Now, you remember those tinfoil hat COVID-19 conspiracy theories? Lord, I had so much fun making those videos, and I had so much fun researching all those crazy conspiracy theories. But it did bring out the lunatic fringe. And the thing about the lunatic fringe is, remember, the operative word in that phrase is lunatic. So I got some stuff that, yeah, I kind of had to dump it. It was just crazy, irresponsible. In fact, one of the videos, I knew I would not be able to monitor comments ongoing, and that was drawing so many conspiracy, I'm tempted to say nut jobs, but that's so unfair, because I do believe there are legitimate conspiracies out there. Well, mostly because there are. History has taught us that. But some of these people were very, very fringy. And it was necessary to just shut off the comments, because if I couldn't monitor them, my fear is that inappropriate information might get out. People might look at it, take it seriously. No, can't have that. So that is, in essence, what I will get rid of. Crazy, irresponsible stuff. Smut. I mean, that's just, call it what it is. Smut. It's going. Hate speech of any kind. And that's pretty much it. Beyond that, I'm willing to let people sort of have their say within reason, But having said all this, I need to keep my personal life and my YouTube life separate. So when potential YouTube content creators say to me, well, what about comments, what about this and that? It's the one thing that I think maybe you're overlooking and you don't understand is this can spill into your personal life. Now, I am willing to tolerate almost anything on my YouTube channel. Part of the problem, and this is something I want all of you potential YouTube content creators to consider, is it can be quite a challenge to keep your YouTube life on YouTube and not have it spill into your personal life. Now, for me, everybody knows about my Etsy shop, so people I don't know why. It's just, I can't seem to stop it. So I've kind of, well, I was going to say I've given up trying. I haven't. There's still a comment. First comment in my video notes on every video is, if you want to get in touch with me, leave a comment on the video. I do read them. Really, I do. Still, people are like, I found that, giveaway email address and I'm going to write you there. Or I know where your Etsy shop is and I'm going to write you there. And it's like, no. I'm putting on my kindergarten teacher hat and saying, if you don't have enough for the rest of the class, throw it in the trash. If whatever it is you have to say is not something you're willing to share with everybody, I'm just not interested, because this channel is about community. I want everybody to participate, and I don't like the idea of taking things off channel. That suggests that some people are getting preferential treatment. It suggests that some people's opinions are worth more than other people's opinions. I don't like any of that sort of thing. I want everybody to feel welcome. Every once in a while, there will be things that need to be taken off. For example, I don't want anybody's address made public. I don't want their phone number made public. Sometimes people might want to share a link, and because of what YouTube does with this, I might want to see that link first, etc. But other than that, I just want YouTube to stay on YouTube. That's what I'm comfortable with. And I don't want the spilling into my personal life. When I worked, and I guess you could sort of kind of consider this a job, when I worked, there was a phone in the office, and I would answer the phone in the office, and the people who needed to get in touch with me professionally had that phone number, and very few of them had my home phone number. So, and in fact, I will tell you this, I kept, and still to this day, keep a landline that it's not even plugged into the wall. So if somebody calls on the landline, it runs through an answering service, and I get an email with a file, an audio file of the message. I still do that to this day because I need that separation. Everybody does, I think. I think people need to separate their work time from their play time. Not that I play, but, I do have downtime sometimes. Yes, cat. I have a cat right here who believes that there's not enough downtime because the cat is not getting petted enough. That is where I would say your emphasis ought to be separating YouTube from the other aspects of your life, especially if you're thinking about thrifting too. Because if you are thinking about thrifting and making YouTube videos, you are going to be living in your business. You're going to be living in your warehouse. You're going to be living in your shipping facility. You're going to be living in your online store. And if you're making videos too, your life is going to be nothing but your job if you're not very careful. I tend to be careful about that because bitter experience has taught me I need to be. But as I say, it's still dicey because I need to remember, that YouTube, and keep in mind that, and this is where we're circling back to when I was saying they don't know me. Well, over the last 3 months with the COVID lockdown, at one point, for 2 months, I was doing 7 videos, 1 video every day for 2 months. We're doing 5 now. So, because eventually I was just going to burn out if I didn't get some time off. Still, a lot of you are in lockdown. It's not lost on me that you may be spending more time with your favorite YouTube content creators than you are spending with your own friends and family. That is just a reality of what COVID-19 and lockdown has done to us as a society. And so when I say people don't know me, well, maybe that's not 100% true. I'd like to think it is. I'd like to think that Sue Me and Sue are two different entities, but I don't do this from a script. It's not like I'm an actress playing a part. And fortunately for you, that is, because seriously, when I was in my 6th grade play, I just stood there like an idiot stammering. So, not much of an actress, trust me. But I understand that people will feel that because they're seeing me every day, they know me. The problem is, it's a one-way street. I don't know you. I don't see you. I wish I did, but I can't. This is not, it's not like, what was it, television or telephone on the Jetsons? Remember that the cartoon? And, Mrs. Jetson would put on her little face mask, and yeah, I know. Boy, what a ramble that's turning into. The point is, I'm out there for you, but I don't get that feedback from you. So you may know me, but I don't know you. I wouldn't recognize any of you if I ran into you on the streets, and that's sad. But it is what it is. It's the nature of the beast. And in that case, it can sometimes be hard for me or not just me, other YouTube content creators to relate to the idea that people who watch me feel that they know me, because the relationship is so one-sided. But I have to recognize that. If you are going to be a YouTube content creator, you have to recognize that too. With that comes some obligations. You have to be cautious about how you deal with people. You can't just, say whatever nonsense comes into your head. I know you probably think I do. Really, I filter a lot. It's just hard to tell. But you have to maintain a certain professional demeanor. You can't just, sit around in your pajamas. I'm going to say that, and somebody's going to say, well, have you seen such and so's channel? They really do sit around in their pajamas, eating peanut butter with a spoon straight out of the jar. I'm sure they do. I'm sure there are all kinds of really, really crazy, wild, out there videos. But if you're going to be a content creator, that is going to be your challenge. It's not going to be how to keep mean people from saying things. First of all, you can't. Mean people will say mean things. That's just life. But you have a finger and a button, and you can remove those comments. And you should. And if they do it more than once, you should block them and not let them be mean again. I think there should be consequences for inappropriate social interactions. I would be very happy if we could all just carry around a big ruler and swat someone across the fingers every time they be mean to somebody. I'd like to see that. But what you need to watch out for is keeping a distance between your YouTube world and your personal world, while still, and here's the trick, bearing in mind that if people are watching you every week or every few days or however often you're throwing out your content, they are going to feel that they know you. In some cases, they're going to end up taking liberties. Ultimately, How you handle the split of your life is up to you. But you are going to have to split it. You are. This is one of those, please, please trust me. The first few weeks, few months, whatever, it's not going to be a big deal. But the time will come when it is a big deal. If your channel flourishes, it will be an issue because you will have a lot of subscribers. And a lot of subscribers means a greater number. Remember, there's a tiny little percentage that's always going to be a little different. More subscribers you have, the greater the number of people. Percentage is probably still going to be the same, tiny, 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 but a lot of subscribers means a lot of people who have different attitudes and different notions of where that line should be drawn. But as the content creator, it's up to you to draw the line and enforce the line. So, just throwing that out there, I don't want to make it seem bad and evil or anything like that, but it's something you must consider. And I am thrilled that so many of you are starting your own channels and creating your own content, and this is fantastic. I am trying very hard to watch as many of them as I can. I love watching the videos you're creating. Most recently, it was a very cute kitty. Someone just had a little kitty. I don't remember what the kitty's name was. I want to say Snowstorm, but beautiful little kitty just playing around. Yeah, I know. You want to get me to watch your video, make a cat video. There you go. I love that so many of you are looking at this. I really do. I know that it takes a lot of courage to put yourself out there, especially if you're shy, if you're not naturally outgoing. I'm kind of, naturally outgoing, so it's easy for me. But I know it takes a lot to do this, and I congratulate you. But remember, you've got to keep a piece of your life for yourself. There has to be like a dark little corner you can crawl into to get away from YouTube or your reselling or, whatever else is going on in your life. Just remember that. That's for your own mental health. Now, a little bit of quick cleanup business before we go. I expect to have the last batch of giveaways out this weekend. My Jessie has taken a couple of days off recently, so that's held up the giveaway mail. And I'm not going to give your stuff to just anybody who shows up on a mail truck. My goodness, no. It's like my Jessie or nobody. But this is, and in fact, I plan to do a video about that, just about what's going on with the Postal Service. Because that's something we're going to have to talk about. But Jessie will make sure my packages are cared for properly. She has some good substitutes, but if I don't know the substitute, and if Jessie doesn't know the substitute, they're not getting your package. It'll wait. I'm not going to. Was it a friend of mine from China had an expression? Now, obviously it was in Chinese, and he was translating it for me. And it was something along the lines of, it's better to be alone than to just hang around with whoever falls in your path. It's better to let your mail wait a day than just hand it off to someone because they are in a red, white, and blue truck. All right. I will see you all tomorrow. Have a fantastic day, and I'm definitely looking forward to tomorrow's video. We'll see you then.